This conference will now be recorded.
So we got an exercise folder also. Okay. I think
Hello.
everyone is
Uh,
yes.
just question regarding yesterday's class.
Wait, we'll start. Hold on. So
Okay.
we have application here. Okay. So I'll upload exercise here. Any further exercise for your practice. So click on this. You get a shared document from my Google Drive. Okay. Either you go with the download or you just refer and do the exercise. Fine. Okay. So what is your question?
Yeah. See, whenever we create application that logo in classic setup, and when we switch that to Lightning, so will that logo be appearing in that application, or should we be explicitly uploading that?
Okay. The question is the logo that we upload here,
Correct.
will that be appear in your Lightning? Lightning doesn't have a concept of displaying the logo at the left corner,
Okay.
right?
So again,
Lightning, yeah, yes. Lightning application doesn't have a concept of displaying the logo at the top left. It's not possible. Okay, right.
okay, okay. Yeah. Thank you for that answer.
Right. Okay, so go through the exercise, and I have some questions in the beginning, and the practical scenario next to that. So this is a format I used to follow. Okay, so everyday exercise. Today we are going to cover a custom objects. So you can find a, a theoretical question at the beginning and the practical implementation next to that. This will not give you steps to implement. Okay, so this you have to implement on your own by listening the class, by know the concept, how to implement. Then you have to implement on your own. That's the objective. It's clear, right? So everyday topics exercise I'll upload here. I hope everyone have access to this application. Am I right? Okay. So we'll continue with the object. Yesterday we started with the object. So we are here. So what are the types of object in general? Standard and custom. Okay, we have seen how to create objects in classic. So we go setup, build, create objects, new custom object. So what is object? Object are databases, okay, that allow you to store a data specific to your organization. Okay, I'm going to create an object called training. So what is the plural name? Yeah. What is the plural name actually? I mean, why we are giving tab name? We are giving the name for the tab here. We are not creating tab here. We are just giving name for the tab. Creating tab is a separate step. We need to follow separate step to create the tab if you want. Okay, but while creating object, we also give the name for the tab. Okay, Then we decide whether the L for this link can be a standard page link or my Visualforce page. If you like to have your Visualforce page, you can choose any of the Visualforce page to be a help for this object page. When user click on this, it will go now to our own page, or else it will go to the standard help.salesforce.com. Okay, right? And this is a standard field, right? A record name field is a standard field which can be of two type. It can be of auto number or text. Okay, so what is the property of the field? What is the property of the field? The field will display as a link. The field will display as a link in the platform. Okay, example, you take any of your standard object. I have account. So this field is basically record name field. Okay, so in account object, record name field is in the type of text. It can be of text type or it can be of auto number type. When it is a text type, then the field is a required field. The user has to provide a value for that field. We cannot skip that. Only if it is a text type. If it is a auto number type, that will be generated automatically. Okay, if you click on new here, I'm not accepting any auto number case number. Okay, but when you insert a row, the number will automatically generated. Okay, that is a property of record name field. And record name field will appear as a link everywhere you see in the platform. So what is this field? Record name field. I click on this, it takes you to the detailed page of that particular record. That's a property of your record name field. Okay, so here I make it as a auto number. Then we have to give the format. So what are the applicable format? You can refer here. We can accept the date. Okay, even I given in the document also. Then what is the starting number? Anything if you like to start, give the starting number. And there are some optional parameter. Okay, we'll discuss about that. Why do you say optional parameter? To create object, these options are not necessary, but if you need, we can enable this option, right? So what are the importance of this option? When I enable yes here, you understand this? When you enable option here, the object can be used for creating the report. Okay, how to create a report? It's a separate topic. It's another topic actually. We are not going to see now, but I tell you what is a report. So there is a tab called report. Okay, using this tab, I can create a report for object. I can go under create some report. Okay, so my training object will be available in this tool. It's a tool. It's a kind of tool. Report is a kind of tool. That object will be available in this tab only if I enable this option. Got me? That's what the allow report means. Allow reports will enable this training object to be accessible under report tab. Then user can create a report. Okay, how many trainings are handled in a month, right? How many trainings have been closed? So every report you like to create, that object should be allow reports. Okay, and allow activities. If you enable this, then reminders, meeting invite. Okay, so we can create the reminders on this object. we can create a meeting invite related to these training activities. There are two activities you can take in Salesforce. One is a task, another is an event. A task is nothing but a reminder. In your email, you set some reminder, right? Or in your mobile, you set some reminder saying like on particular day, I have some work. So you'll forget that activity. So you'd like to set up the reminder that will pop up and say like you have some task which has a due date, due time. Got me? Such type of reminders you can set. Where? For this object. Okay. Similarly, you can also create a meeting invite. You can invite other users, so they will get a email saying like so and so time and date there is a meeting. Okay, so those two type of activities you can create against this object only if option is enabled, right? See here, I just go to an object called account. I'm seeing one account data, I mean some company information I'm seeing. So there is a related list called open activities. I can create a task event. Okay, so we click on new task. The task assigned to whom, what is the subject. Okay, and I can set the reminder. So when the reminder needs to be pop up 8 a.m. or 7, right, like that, I can create the reminder for opportunity object. So how this activity is able to possible here, because allow activities is enabled for this object by default. Got me? Similarly, for my training record, allow open activities will be enabled only if enable this option. Will follow this, right? And track field history. Track field is nothing but if suppose an user is modifying this value, okay, some modification, what you got is a pop-up. Whatever I created right now task, I get a pop-up. Okay, right? See, I modify something, then I would like to track these changes here. I like to track these changes as part of this related list, saying like someone has modified the type from to prospect. Someone has modified the annual revenue from some amount to 50,000. So any changes that are happening to your record, any changes user is trying to modify something here, I would like to track that. Then you have to enable this option. Okay, we'll see that practically later. I'll show you how to create activities and field list and all. As part of creating an object, you need to enable these options. Okay, one option is to allow reports, allow activities. Activities in Salesforce nothing but task, event, and task is a reminder, event is a meeting invite. Okay, and allow in chatter group. Allow in chatter group, from the object record, I can share something to this group. It's possible. There is a feature where I can share my, suppose I get a new customer here. I get a new customer. When I insert a row into the table, I would like to post the information to chatter group. The other feature we're going to cover later. Okay, but in order to share the information of your object into chatter group, what I have to do? I have to enable this option. If you don't enable this, you cannot track the field changes. If you don't enable this, you cannot create the task and the event. If you don't enable, you cannot create a report. Make sure if you require this feature, we enable this. If required, you enable this. That's the reason it's called a optional features. But what about the red marked? All the mandatory field. You cannot skip that. Okay. When it is optional, later after created your object also, you can come and modify that. Later, if you want to enable the report, we can do that. Okay. I don't enable right now. The two things. We'll show you how to modify the object and enable that option later. Right. So there is an object classification. Not much important, but let us understand this. When enable this all the options, then object is called enterprise application object. When enable all this option, then it's called a enterprise application object. It means enterprise means it's for your whole company. You can handle large volume of data. It means you can allow sharing. It does a bulk API process. It means in your integration course, you'll understand what is bulk API. The object can process a large volume of data. What about your mobile application? We cannot process a large volume of data, right? Only in a desktop I can see more data, but in the mobile, less information, less scrolling. Got me? Less navigation. More data, then mobile application will slow down. Got me? So if you like to handle your object as a lightning object, then we have to disable all this. If you like to enable your option as an enterprise object which can handle large volume of data, which will have all these features. I can share the more records to other application, okay, through bulk API, through streaming API. These are all part of your integration concept. Okay, then you can enable this option. Okay, you should know at this point, when enable all this option, it's called a enterprise application object. If you don't enable, it's called a lightning application object. Right, then the deployment status. Okay, so there are two options here: in development, deployed. When I say deployed, then object is created and available for all users. Okay, suppose I created this object, then I can create a tab and I can assign this tab to the some user. So what user can do? User can click on a tab and see the information in the object. If I make it in development, the user cannot access this object. Even though the tab is assigned, object is assigned to the user, but I mark it here as in development. It means object is not available to any user in the platform. It is still in the progress. It is still under development. Able to follow this? So you can decide here whether object is available to all user or not by going with the option in development or deploy. I make it as deployed. Any questions so far? Right. And we have another option called search status. If I enable this, then I can search the text against this object. Allow search, allowing the object for searching the data inside the object. Okay, so make it allow. And again, this is optional. I enable here, what will happen? There will be a related list called notes and attachment will be added. I can attach some PDF file. Okay, I can attach some notes here. I can do that, provided if you enable this option. It means for my training object, suppose I would like to insert a row for a course SFDC development, and I would like to attach a syllabus for the SFDC development, right? So I need this section, right? So enable this, you can attach any PDF or any image or anything. Got me? So that's the section. If you don't enable this, later also we can enable this option, right? And what about this? Yeah, I said that tab is a step, another step, new step to create a tab. Okay, we can launch that wizard from here. It means once I create the tab, I mean object, it will open another wizard. Means what? Another screen. That's it, to create the tab. Okay, but I'm not enabling now. There is another place called tab. There you will go and create the tab. Fine. Okay, so label just to display, tab name, your object name. Okay, where to open the link, which help page you like to open, whether standardhelp.salesforce.com or your own Visualforce page. Record name field, when it is a text field, it is a record field. User has to enter value. When it is an auto number field, it's going to be a read only field. When it is auto number, it's going to be a read only. If it is a text, record field, user must enter value. Okay, and optional parameters, allow reports. Object is available for report creation. User can create activities such as task and event. And if enable yes, field changes can be tracked as related list. If enabled, the object data can be shared with the chatter. Okay, shared with the chatter. And what are the important things you have seen? Status of your deployment status, right? So it have two types: in development, deployed. Yes, then so either one of these option only you can choose, right? It's a radio button option, either in development or deployed. Then this object is available to okay for view or write, whatever. Okay, and this enable yes. Is clear to all of you? So what next you have to do? We'll save it, right? So object is created, right? So object is created. We'll see some definitions of the object. It is a place where you are seeing a definition of the object. It means what is the object name, whatever value you given. Okay, that page appears. In addition to that, how to customize the object, how to add more columns to the table. Okay, how to implement the various functionality. Everything is together will give one page. If you create object, what happens? Every other options that you can use that option to modify the object, to add more columns to the object. Suppose I like to modify the object again. Enable this report and activities. Edit. I go to the again at that same page. And save. Okay. Right. So how to go to this page again? Create objects. From here, click on the name. I go here. Right. Okay. See, it is your tab name, and you given some object name, but finally a system has given some name, right? With your object name, it appends, it adds some two double underscore. It's basically two double underscore. Okay, with the letter C. So this is the API name you are going to refer in your program. So your object name plus double underscore plus a letter C. Got me? If my object name is training, your API name is going to be underscore C, right? So this is a name used to right in simply it's a codings. Okay, in other case it's a API. It's clear to all of you? So this feature is this naming convention is common for object column also. Any new column you are adding to the table, it will append a double underscore C, which means it's a custom feature. Okay, your standard objects will not have any double underscore C. The API name and the object name is going to be same. For example, I have account. is object name and it's a API name. For your account, the object name is account, API name is also account. Both are same. Only for your custom object, we have that naming convention. Okay, that again, that naming convention, you do not give, don't give on yourself. If you give, what will happen? Along with the double underscore, system will add again another double underscore. Okay, so system will add that name. You do not, you need not add that name, right? And it created by myself, and any modification that will also be tracked here. Okay. Right. Okay, so we'll discuss about the standard field. Just short description about the standard field. We'll also going to see some more fields later. I'll just give a brief introduction about the standard field. So when you create object, what happens? Some standard fields are created. We are not added our own field yet. Okay, we are just created the object. While creating the object, one standard field, the object is giving a suggestion, right? What is that field? Record name field. And that field can be, we have option to choose whether it's a auto number or a text type. So the object provides, the definition page provides two sections, one for standard field, custom field. Okay, so this is a place where you will go and create a new custom fields and all, and whatever fields created, standard fields, that will appear here. So what are the fields here? I have a created by. If you notice here, there are two things here always. In the case of object, I have a label, I have a name. Label, name, right? So label is just to display purpose. But what about name? We'll use it in the program. Okay. The label will not, label will have a space, but the name cannot have a space. Got me? Right. We'll discuss about again in the field section. I'll just give a brief idea about standard fields. So we have a created by field, last modified, what else? Owner, and your record name field. So what is a record name field? This is a field. We make it as auto number, right? Right. So what is this field? So this is my training object table. Right now I have a name field. Okay. Suppose I'm going to create one more field here called course name, which is a custom field. Got me? And I have created by, last modified by, and owner. Got me? So it's auto number field, right? 001. The name field is auto number field. Say some course I'm inserted. So when I insert this record, who is created by? Myself. Who is last modified by? Myself. And owner is also myself. Okay. I have some two records in my object. Like this. So there are two records in my training table. You will have to follow this. There are two records. So these fields are standard fields, right? And only one field, I suppose, assume like I created, which is called a course name, right? So now I modify this field. Okay. And there is a user called Praveen. Modify this field. Modify this field to from SFDC integration to Lightning. Is modified it. Who is going to be modified by? Praveen. Got me? So this, the value of this last modified by created by will be automatically populated by system. Okay, which cannot be changed. The created by cannot be changed. Suppose I would like to transfer the ownership from one user to another user. I have a user called Wilson. I can do that. Got me? So the created by is going to be the value who is created this record, and last modified by who has recently modified this record, and owner can be changed from one user to another user. Okay, you will get more clarity on owner field when you cover the security model topic later. Okay, just would like to give a brief introduction about the standard fields. What about this field? Can I modify this field? We cannot. Whenever we insert a new row, this will be automatically sequentially incremented. Got me? And what is this field? It's a record name field. What is the property of the field? When I click on the field, it will take you to the detail page of the record. Okay, it will appear as a link. It will appear as a link in the platform, right? Okay, so we have created application. We created a object. So how to work with the object without doing coding? How to see the data into object? How to insert a row into the object without doing coding? I have account here. Without doing any coding, I'm inserting a row, right? I'm inserting a row into the table. How it is possible? Through the feature called tab. Through the feature called tab. Okay, so the next one is we are going to see how to create a tab. So tab is an interface to work with object. Okay, a tab is an interface to work with object. Work means what? We can read the data, we can edit the data, okay, we can delete. So whatever, all type of database operation, the database operations you can perform against your table without doing any coding. Declaratively, how we are going to work with your object by creating a tab. Okay, so again, tab has two types: standard, custom. Okay, we have a standard and custom. So standard types cannot be deleted, but can be renamed. So created by user, it can be deleted or modified. Okay, and one object can have only one custom tab. You cannot create multiple more than one tab for a particular object. Once it is created, that's all. Once it is created, you can add into multiple application. Any type of application you can add it, but only once you can create the custom tab. It's clear? And a tab is of four types. Custom tab, custom object tab. Okay, it's of four type. Custom object tab. You can only create a tab for custom object only. We cannot create for a standard object. Why? It's already been created. Okay, we have tab already for account object. We have tab already for contact, lead, opportunity and all. We cannot create. We can only create a tab for custom object only. Right? So we have four types: custom object tab, Salesforce tab, web tab, lightning tab. Okay, lightning page tab. Right, so these three tabs are required your coding knowledge. Okay, it's not very big deal. If you create a Visualforce page, you can link a Visualforce page as a tab. That's all. See my Ranjit notes, right? So this basically is not connecting with any object here. It's connecting with the Visualforce page. When I click on this, the Visualforce page executed. That's all. That's a type of tab you can also create, which is called a Visualforce tab. When you say custom object tab, what does it mean? The tab will be linked to custom object. That's all. It's not a link to any page. When it is linked to any page, it's called a Visualforce tab. When it is going to link any HTML page, it's a web tab. When it is linked to any Lightning framework page, it's going to be a Lightning tab. There are 4 types of tab. All of you able to follow this, right? Okay, so creating step, right? Create tab. So we have a setup. Navigation will give it in different nodes. We just give the brief steps to create tab. Tabs. I have 4 tabs here. Custom tab, web, force, right? I already created one here. Okay, right. So we are going to see custom object tab. So this step, we are going to choose object here. Why only one object appearing? We have created only one object here. Okay. So once if I created this tab for this object, this drop down will not show the object name here. It means what? Only once you can create the tab. I choose here and choose a tab style. The tab style is nothing but when I click on any tab here, some color is highlighted, right? It's highlighted in dark blue. It's highlighted some pale yellow, right? So this color, what is the style you're going to choose for this? We cannot leave this because it's not selected yet. We have to select any color you can choose. Doesn't related to any functionality, just a color to be highlighted in the tab. Okay, when you go with that color, your every page look and feel will be in that same color. The section in the page, got me? You go to case. So everywhere you see the same look and feel, right? Okay, and this doesn't make any scope. We can skip off this. It's optional one. Tab related to training. Okay, right. In this step, we are not given any name for the tab, right? You got me? Why? The name has already been given when you create the object. Okay, right. So next. So again, as usual, who is going to have access to this tab? We are assigned to the profile here. Okay, so there are 3 types of access here: default on, off, and tab in. So we give we choose the object and the style and assign to profile. So here we are going to choose a profile here, and we are setting up tab visibility. Okay, suppose I choose a profile agent, right? So what are the tab visibility we have? We have default on, default off, tab in. There are 3 tab visibility you can set. Okay, when you go with the default on, what will happen? The tab will be displayed at the any of the tab panel, because in the next step we are going to choose application, and which application I'm going to add this tab. So tab will appear here in the tab panel if I go with the on. If I go with off, the tab will not appear here, but still the tab is available to the profile. if I make it as a default on, default off, the tab is available and the user can go to the plus symbol alt tab, they can see the tab. Okay, if you go with on, both on and off will give the access, but default will not be appear here, but you can, user can go to the alt tab and see the tab. Got me? Right. How to restrict the user to work with the object? Tab in. So this is will restrict the user to access the object data, to edit the object data without doing coding. User cannot access if the profile we set it as tab hidden. Okay, so tab visibility of three types: on, off, tab hidden. Is clear? Suppose I'd like to make every profile as a tab hidden. So what happens? Everywhere the visibility is applied. One tab visibility to all profile. Then I would like to change to some other profile. Then enabled, default on. Say for manager, I would like to make it default on, and system administrator default on. So rest of the people, rest of the user profile, it's going to be restricted. They cannot see the tab within the platform. Even if they go to the alt tab also, they will not have access. That's all the tab hidden. Tab hidden will completely restrict the tab. Right? We'll proceed next. So third step, add to application. Okay, they're given as custom apps, but you'll find a standard app also. It's not custom app. Add to application. That's all in general. Okay, so I enable this, disable this. What will happen? The tab will not be available to anywhere. Available to anywhere. Okay, any of the application. Suppose I like to add only to the training management. Okay, and only to service application, and save. So what will happen? Only in service application the tab will appear, and only in training management tab will appear. Save. So that's the final step to create the tab. Okay, add to application, then we're going to save it. That's all. So this is a step to create the tab. So there is a one custom tab, and now I go to the service application. Got me? And training management. Did you add it or not? Oh, okay. It is there in the lightning now. Okay. See, isn't it? Lightning version is added. Okay. Right. Now I need to add a tab to this classic application. How to do that? What I'm talking about? I'm talking about application, right? We need to customize the application. Setup, create apps, edit, choose a tab, right? Choose, add. Okay. Show in lightning experience. Save. Now it's appearing. Okay. And the same step you will follow in your lightning as well. To create a tab, the same step, but navigation will be different. Go to setup. Okay, we have tabs. The same interface you'll get. No other changes. Okay, if you click on new, it takes you to the fourth step. Choose the object name, style, assign to profile. Then what the next step? When you say tab means to which application you are going to add, right? That's the last step. Which user is going to have access to the tab, and to which application you are going to add. These are two steps mandatorily you will choose. That's all. Got me? Right. So a tab is created. Now we'll see what are the features available under tab. The tab is created. I go to training management. I click on a tab. The tab has a default features. You remember we discussed. What are the feature? How do you call this? List view and the recent items, new button. Okay. The tab contains two features, mainly list view, a new button option. Okay, and one more feature, recent items. These are three features the tab has. How the new button option appearing? Who will get a new button option? When the profile has given a create permission into the object, right? So how to check the profile? Go to setup. How to check your profile? Users. Myself. Assign with this profile. Okay, so scroll down. What section I have to go? Object permission section. Okay, there is a section called. So what happens? This is a system administrator profile. Okay, so whenever any new object is created, a system administrator will automatically get all the access. But this is not the same for another profile. Okay, other users, this is not going to be same. So I go to other user profile. Okay, I go to Kiran. It's not enabled. If you log in as Kiran, the Kiran will not able to see the tab. Will not able to see the tab. The tab has we given access to the Kiran. I think we haven't given. Even if we give the access also, the tab will not visible unless we enable some of the permissions here. It's clear to all of you? Okay. So next you'll see list you will again discuss later. How to rename the tab. Okay, I would like to rename a tab for standard object. Suppose the tab name is here account. Okay, so account is a term not everyone will understand in some cases because it's a company, it's basically the company details, but it's written as an account. This is a terminology we followed in Salesforce environment. Okay, I would like to display this as a companies, not as account. So this is a standard tab or custom tab? Standard tab, right? So how to rename it? Setup. Every standard objects will appear under customize, and every new object you are going to create, it's under create. Okay, so that's a keyword. Customize means what? Existing things we can customize. Anything newly created, it comes under create. So I go here and tab name I'm going to rename tab. So what object? Account. right? I'm going to rename here companies. Next, what it will give? It will give. You can also rename the field label. We can also rename the field label. Okay, suppose I like to rename. There is a field called account number. People listen here. I go to account. Once I rename there, what will happen? The name will be renamed not only here. Here as well, it's renamed. Okay, and wherever you are seeing as accounts, there it will display as a companies. And these are the labels. Whatever you are seeing here, label display purpose. I would like to change this account number to companies. I can change here. Company number. Okay. Company ID or something. Save. So what happens here? It's modified. Okay. So refresh. It's modified. Recent companies. Everywhere it's changed automatically. Okay. All companies. And the company ID. Right. Again, I go back here. Setup. Customize. Tab name. Rename tab. If you like to reset, you can reset. Okay. And edit. I found some singular name also, right? So I make it as just to differentiate. I give some different name. Customer. Say that's a singular name. Refresh. So singular name will have effect here. Got me? It's just in the display part. That's all. Singular name will have effect here. Your plural name will have effect here. Here and here, wherever you see the plural name, that will get changed. Okay. To reset it back, again go there and reset. That's all. Anytime you can rename and reset it back, that will not have any impact on your coding. Why? The tab name will not be referred in your coding part. That's a label to display purpose, right? Okay, so that's how you rename the tab. Rename tabs and labels. So below this, we have a rename option. Okay, so here you will rename tabs and labels. Why not field? Field cannot be renamed. The field of the object, standard object, cannot be renamed. That will have impact in the program. Only the label can be renamed. Whatever the label we are displaying here in your platform, so this label can be renamed, but not the actual name behind the label, because that's a name you are referring in the program, right? Okay, so So what could be the answer for this? How to view the classic application Lightning? Classic app, am I right? Upgrade option. This will create one more new version of your Lightning application. The old classic will stay there. Still it will be there, remain in the application, remain in the platform. So upgrade also will do it in Lightning only. We cannot upgrade in classic platform. People know this, right? You'll find upgrade option when you go to Lightning app. So where to check how many application I've created in my platform, how many tabs I created, where? In your classic. Am I right? So go to setup. Monitor, system overview. So how many tabs are allowed here? 100 tabs. Okay. 2 tabs I created. I created tabs for training I created, right? And Visual Force page tab, how many I've created? Sorry, tab. Okay, see, the tab limits is considered as a total limit. Visual Force, yeah, Visual Force tab, one tab I created, and custom tab, object tab I created one. So 2 limits. Altogether is going to be 100. It's clear? I confused with this one. These are pages we created. The 2 pages are already created. One for your admin exercise and another for one more things I created. Okay, right. So this is where you can track your limits. Okay, and this is going to be different in your Lightning. It's going to be environment, I guess. Setup, environment, system overview. And how does administrator set different languages for user? There are 3 places. Sorry, 2 places in user page. Okay, and in the my settings also is available, but that is only applicable for user. An admin can only set it in, yeah, here, and in company profile you set it will applicable to all users. That's all. So below user page, where you will set default locally, and default language. App manager, right? You'll see all applications here. How to see all the tabs? All tab, right? So this is in classic. Okay, so this is in classic. So how about in lightning? Below app launcher, all of you know about app launcher, right? Below app launcher, there will be all items. Yeah, that's the next question actually. This for a classic. Okay, so go to lightning. App launcher, all items, right? Here you can see. Expand. You can see here. It's clear to all of you. And it's possible to search an application lightning. Yes, there's option here, right? It's automatically filtered here. Okay, such option is not there in your classic, right? Fine. So this is for your tab and object.
Sir, regarding tab, I have a small question.
Yes.
So when you are trying to rename that, for example, from accounts to company, it is getting changed, right? So it will be affecting what tab name in all the applications, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly. When you rename the tab, what happens? If you rename your account tab, for example, the account tab is available in most of the applications. See, everywhere the name will be changed. We are not changing a name for particular application. Okay, when you rename the tab, wherever the tab is added to the application, everywhere that tab will be changed. Because how many tabs can be for one object? Only one tab. So when you
Yeah.
rename it, everywhere that will be changed.
So in an org, if at all there are multiple applications, won't that be any effect as such or something, any limitation or something?
Right. We have a tab limits. That's what. How many tabs you can create? That limits you are talking about. There is no limits for adding a tabs to the application, but there is a how many tabs you can see it in the top. That limitation is there, right? You cannot
Yeah.
go beyond 15. Then automatically you'll get a drop down at the right side.
No, my question actually is, for example, 10 applications we have in our organization, and I want to have only something, my tab to change only in one application rather than impacting multiple applications. So, is that any way to restrict only to have it
Right.
explicitly? Yeah, such
You can,
something.
yeah. Put a mute. I will explain.
Sure.
See, the question is, I would like to rename only in one particular tab application. Okay. The account is I renaming to companies, but it is there in service also. But I do not want to change here. That restrictions cannot be done in your declarative admin part because admin part has limitation because it doesn't record any coding things, right? Then it has its own limitation also. If it is the way it works, then we cannot modify that. In case if I need to have a different name here, then we can go for a Visual Force tab. We can go for a Visual Force tab, right? You create two Visual Force tab and link all the functionality behind the tab. Then when you click on when rename the one tab and rename another tab in another name, so that way you can do it. But custom object tab, any one place you renamed, or your standard tab any one place you renamed, that will be reflected in all the places. We have limitations.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you. That answered.
Okay, right. Just a quick recap. There are 4 tabs: custom, Visual Force, web, lightning. Okay, how to create a custom tab? So these are navigation. I already given in the notepad. And in your lightning, a platform tool, user interface, tab, right? And tab has a 3 visibility. on, off, tab hidden. So the tab is available in all the tab page, appears in the tab panel. It will be available in all tab page only, not in the tab panel. A tab is not visible if it is tab hidden. Okay, right? And we have two settings here: apply one tab visibility all profile. Right, so that's the option explained here. And what is a web tab? When you click on a web tab, a web page will open. So that's the process of creating the web tab. Okay, when you click on a Visualforce tab, the Visualforce page will open. The example in my application, right? When I click on this, that particular page open. So how did I create this tab? I go to setup. I choose a Visualforce page here. That's all, not the object here, right? So that's the way you create your tab. Okay, so when a tab is added to the application, okay, it bring three functionality. It means whenever I go to the tab, the top global search is also appearing, right? So global search is there, okay, and creating new shortcut. It means this option, creating a event and task, okay, from here itself, from sidebar itself, that option. And recent items. What is recent items? Below the tab I have view recent items, right? That's item that I put here. We'll go here, I get recent items. So these are recent item also. I think these are the default permission, right? Global search, shortcut creating a record, and recent items. And how many tabs can be created for an object? Only one tab. Can we add one tab in more than one application? Yes, it's possible. Okay. And custom tab limits as a fixed number based on edition. Okay, and cannot be increased. It cannot be increased, but uh, still, to my knowledge, you can request Salesforce to increase the limit. If you are a customer to Salesforce, you can request them. If you are a good revenue customer for them, then obviously they will increase the service. But it's a default limit, cannot be increased. Okay. Unlimited, I don't think so. You create an unlimited number of tabs, but tabs will have a limits. It's not like unlimited version you can. Okay, how to come to know that? Anything you'd like to know about limited, different editions, right? We go to the pricing. Any product. And just try to take a trial version and see the limits. You'll come to know. Okay. But to my knowledge, I think the tab will have its limit. The storage doesn't have any limit in the unlimited, but the configurations, right? Configuration means creating object. Those things under limit might be there. You cannot create millions object in the platform because it's a sharing architecture. Everywhere, every resource is being shared by multiple users, right? Storage is unlimited because whenever the storage is done, the customer Salesforce will provide you the storage, additional storage, right? So this is your tab. Okay, so detailed notes has been given here. So how many ways you can create the object? Standard navigation, schema builder. Okay, so how to create schema builder? It's quite simple, right? Go to setup, schema builder. From here you go, or else go to objects. From here you can go. Yeah, either way it's going to open here. A drag and drop tool. It means everything can drag and drop. Okay, the tool contains two tab here: elements, objects. So object will display what are the objects available in the platform. All objects, only the selected objects should display here. or only the standard objects, whatever. Okay, I like to clear this selection. So this is a panel, whatever you selected here will appear at the right side. Okay, so now I'd like to select only custom object training. Sometimes it's hidden, sometimes it's hidden. There is a drag panel here. You have to do this. Okay, like this. Sometimes you lost the object. You'll be irritated to find the object. Okay, so what you have to do? You have to go here, or else you just reduce the size of the window. So like this. Correct? Like this. Okay, so what is element? So element is a place which will provide you what you are going to create. So schema builder is a drag and drop tool which will provide a drag and drop type of options to create a table and a field. That's all. No other thing. You cannot create a tab here. You cannot create an application here. You can only create a object and a column into the object. So it's divided into two sections: object, field. So what I'm going to create a object. Okay, suppose I'm going to create object. Okay, I'm going to create an object called employee. Name, tab name. Okay, so I given here, make it auto number field. It's our choice only. Okay, you can make it auto number or text type. Yeah, I'm going to add here month. What is the starting number? Allow reports. If required, we add it, save it. That's all. So in order to quickly create the object, you'll see the big difference in creating the field actually. When you create a field using a standard UI, it takes more screen. Name of the field, length, okay, assign to profile, adding to page layout. It takes more screen. But here what you'll do, you just drag and drop and do it in one screen. Okay, we'll see the difference, how to create. So this is how we create the object. Okay, so we got exercise here. Right, so later you just go here. So these questions must be answered. Admin exercise 2. What is API name? Suppose your object name is insurance double underscore C. Right? What is general purpose of account? To store customer data, right? Account is to store the company details. Contact people under the account. Your schema builder, only object and field. That's all. We cannot create any other things. Okay, it can be text or auto number. It appears as link. It is read only. Am I right? It is read only and auto generated based on the format. Plural name field in the object creation page. Tab name. Okay, it's a tab name. Right. Record name field is optional and it is a text type. False, right? It's a record field. What is the deployment status? Yeah, to make object available to user or not, right? To users. Okay, if it is deployed, it means available. Yeah, if it is in development, not available. Right. How to allow the objects for report creation? Enable. Yeah, allow reports in edit page of yeah, object definition, right? When you edit the page, that's what it's called as edit page. How to make an object allow such. Okay, so these are the things you should know. Upload this document. How about connecting after short 10 minutes break? That's what we discussed in the demo, right? With a short break, we are going to connect for. Fine. So that's the objective. You have any constraint, time constraint? You know, right? People are able to attend, right? Just going to connect for another 40 minutes. That's a shorter session. We'll cover some field section, field part. You have some? Yeah. But session, our regular timing is start by 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 2 hours. If you have a 15 minutes break or 10 minutes break, it goes to 12:45. That's all. That's the usual time we discuss. That's how the course is. Usually, other courses, other batches, usually it's the first time we are doing this type of. Okay, usually we have 1.5 hour only. If you say 1.5 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes, then they will connect. It takes 3-4 months time to complete the course. Everyone is able to follow the content, right? Then we can add some more half an hour content more. That's all. Okay, so plan it accordingly. Others, just 10 minutes break. I will just, if you continue this, then I can able to see your face. Just 10 minutes gap, we'll continue it. Okay, right. Online people, I'll just disconnect and connect back again, ma. I disconnect and connect back again in 10 minutes. Fine.
Fine.
Okay.